you another story that has sparked a lot of outrage. It's about Rhonda Lee, a meteorologist in Shreveport, Louisiana, fired after responding to a racially charged comment on her TV station's Facebook page. A viewer by the name of Emmett Buskoku posted a comment saying, "The black lady that does the news is a very nice lady. The only thing is she needs to wear a wig or grow some more hair. I'm not sure if she is a cancer patient, but still, it's not something myself that I think looks good on TV. What about letting someone, a male, have waist-long hair do the news? What about that?" Well, days later, Rhonda responded via the Facebook page saying, "I am the black lady to which you are referring. I'm sorry you don't like my ethnic hair, and no, I don't have cancer. I am very proud of my African-American ancestry, which includes my hair. Conforming to one standard isn't what being American is about, and I hope you can embrace that." Rhonda went on to thank the viewer for watching. Well, Rhonda Lee joins me now live from Shreveport, and joining us to sound off on this is Melissa Harris Perry, host of MSNBC's Melissa Harris Perry Show. So, ladies, it's good to have you here. And Rhonda, your response certainly seemed reasonable enough, kind as well, when you thanked them for watching your program. So explain to all of us, why did the station fire you? Did they explain it properly? Was it just about this response issue?
Well, initially I actually brought that particular comment to the attention of management. I sent them a screen grab at the time, and I told my manager, Randy, at the time, well, you know, it seems like I'm okay with not everybody liking me, that's fine, but a lot of our comments as of late have come across more racist than anything. So I would like to help with getting a policy together so that we can, one, block offensive posts like this, and two, maybe start a good dialogue for educating people and getting a good discourse going on the web. So then the next few days after that, I was called into our general manager's office, and I was told that, wow, we got lucky this time. And I got a little confused at first. I'm like, lucky? What do you mean? Apparently, according to the GM, it could have gone much worse. It could have gotten much more ugly. So we got really lucky. And he told me next time, if there's a controversial post like this, what I need to do is to thank the viewer and then bring it to the attention of management, and they would do something about it.
You thanked the viewer within that statement, Ron, and I want to get in the WTBS statement on their behalf, saying on November 28th of 2012, KTBS dismissed 2 employees for repeated violation of the station's policy, or written procedure, that is. Ms. Rhonda Lee was let go for repeatedly violating that procedure and after being warned multiple times of the consequences if her behavior continued. Were you warned about some type of ongoing behavior that was creating a file of marks against you that could lead up to termination?
No, sir. This is that first remark was the first time I had ever replied outside of giving a forecast. And then the second one, the other reason, well, the main reason why I was terminated was only the second time I had ever replied in that way at all. And so the repeated part, I asked them during my termination, you know, like, when was this repeated part? Well, you know, there was the first time in October, and now there's this time, and that was it. That was all. I've never even seen that email. As far as I know, actually, I can tell you there is no written policy, so that was my first and only time that I'd seen that.
All right, Melissa, I want to bring you into the conversation. When I first read up about this and what happened with Rhonda, I was really taken aback, and I know you were too. The trials and tribulations, the evolution of black women and their hair has been the subject of documentaries by people like Chris Rock, and I want to play, because I know you've devoted part of your show to this very topic. Take a look.
And it feels like there's no hairstyle you can choose that isn't signaling something to somebody, right? So if you wear a relaxer, that's somehow signaling something. Is this sufficiently political? Is this just working out our emotions? Or is there something meaningful about, as African American women are trying to think through our self-presentation?
Let's talk about that, the thinking through of the self-presentation. Didn't Rhonda have a right to respond? I mean, they asked, the viewer asked questions, and Rhonda provided answers.
Yeah, I want to say several things here. I mean, I just want to be really clear that the space where we're talking about African American women and their hair is a very, very fraught space. And the idea that Rhonda's employer was so unaware of how important it was to actually have a conversation about this. I mean, television is, of course, a visual medium. So we make all kinds of choices about what we do and don't wear, what we do and don't do with our hair, you know, how much makeup we put on before we ever show up on television. But the idea that there's only one sort of style of hair or one version of what would constitute beautiful or attractive hair has been an incredibly powerful tool for controlling African American women's self-presentation in all kinds of spaces, especially corporate spaces. Now, I'm actually not a big fan of the Chris Rock film, and one of the reasons is simply because I think it's so important for black women to speak for themselves about their hair. And so what I appreciate about what Rhonda did here was that in a very calm, consistent, and I think educating manner, she spoke about what her hair is, what the choices were, the reasons for it, and then she thanked the viewer for having a response.
One thing I want to get out there, Rhonda, is that Jennifer Livingston, a news anchor from Wisconsin, was chastised via Facebook for someone, a viewer, about her weight. She used it as a teachable moment to fire back and editorialize what it meant to her, and it was a huge teachable moment for her market that went national. Why do you think that your station looked at this and saw it in a different light? The moment to talk about you and your hair.
Right. I honestly wish I had a good answer. Why, as I said before, I felt like she got a platform and I got Das Boot. And I'm not really clear as to why we couldn't have used this as an educational moment instead. It was very disheartening because I will say that I tried. I really did try. I don't believe in having to chastise a viewer or say bad viewer. Clearly the guy just didn't know. And I felt if I was in a position to help him, then I should be able to do so.
Well, Rhonda, I'm very sorry that this happened to you, but you know what? I think it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to you in the long run, because who wants to work for that kind of person anyway? Rhonda Lee, Melissa Harris Perry, thanks so much. I appreciate you ladies joining me, and you can always watch Melissa as she hosts the Melissa Harris Perry Show weekends right here on MSNBC, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern. And ahead, a big about